I want to talk to you about creation. It is time for you to create. And what you need to understand is this: before anything was something, it was nothing. Everything was nothing before it became something. And some of you are stuck in a hard place, in a dark place, in a place where you think you cannot grow because you think you don't have anything. You look at people like me and other folks that you see on social media and you're thinking, well, they have this and they have that and they have that, and that's why they got this. Let me help you understand something. Everything was nothing before it became something. Let's start with God. When he created light and the earth, he had to create it from a void, a void space and a void place. Void means the absence of. So you might feel like you have nothing, that it's void, that it is the absence of, but you can create. Do you think Bill Gates knew that Microsoft was Microsoft before he created it? Before, it was nothing. And then it became something. Let's take Facebook. Could you have ever imagined that there would be something like a Facebook, that you could see your face in a book and see all your friends and family members, people that you had not seen for years and years and years and years? Before it was something, it was nothing. What about electricity? What about the telephone? What about the iPhone? What about the device that you are looking at right now? Before it was something, it was nothing. So if you think you have nothing, then I'm here to tell you that you have everything if you have nothing. Because if you have nothing, what that means is you have a clean slate. You have a clean mind. You have a clean and a very clear and a direct path to God, so that you can create and you can do what you have been called to do. You've been called to do something. Now, you might be thinking, well, you know what? I don't have anything, and that person created this and that person created that. Do you think Alexander Graham Bell was worried about Thomas Edison creating light? He said, no, he created the light. Okay, let me go create something else. We need to talk to each other. All right. Now the phones had strings and so on and so forth, and eventually it got better, but he wasn't worried about what somebody else had. All right. Everybody who has created something could have said, well, they did this and they did that, but you can't focus on other people. So don't worry about what other people have. Don't worry about your friends from high school, or those people from college, or the person on your job who got the promotion, or the lady down the block who moved out of the projects and bought a new house. And whatever it is, don't think about what they got. Think about where you are, because let me tell you something. When God is in a neighborhood blessing people, that means he's in a neighborhood and you next, right? I never get upset about somebody else getting a blessing that I know, because I already know if he blessed somebody I know, that means he's in my neighborhood. All right. So all I have to do is go tap on his shoulder, learn my lesson so I can get the blessing, so I can go to the next level. So if you think you have nothing, if you worried about what other people did, don't worry about that. Now let me help you understand something else, because I know you might be thinking, well, guess what? They stole my idea. So somebody stole your idea. You had an idea, and maybe you told somebody and they went and did it without you, or maybe you had an idea and you put the thing down on paper, and then all of a sudden you saw somebody else doing it somewhere else, and you think, you know what, that was it. Let me help you understand something. Your gift, your anointing, and your blessing cannot be stolen. You think God is that simple that he would let somebody steal something that he meant for you? Now, if somebody else did the thing, then maybe there's a lesson that you need to learn so you can get the blessing. If somebody else took the idea and went away with it, well, maybe that's a test for you to learn how to be more discerning with the people that you trust. If someone else you spoke to and they actually went ahead with the plant without you, and they did not understand that you were not giving it to them, that you were just telling them, then maybe that means you need to get up on your trademark game, or whatever the case may be. But don't let that stop you. Because let me tell you something about the God I serve. The God that I serve said, if I gave you one idea, I can give you 10. If I gave you 10 ideas, I can give you 20. If I gave you 200 ideas, I can give you 1,000. So don't stop. because you think that your number one idea that was going to help you break through is the thing that did not happen. And so now you're sitting there thinking that you don't have anything. That is not the truth. It is not the truth, because the truth is, if you had that idea, you can get another one. And let me help you understand something about people who steal from you. They will not prosper. It might look like they prospered. It might look like they own TV or the radio or the news or social media, but let me help you understand something. You don't know what's happening when they go home at night. You don't know how well they're sleeping. You don't know what's happening inside their head. You don't know. And here's the deal. We don't care. We don't want them to be down and out and depressed. I don't wish bad on anybody. But my point is, I'm not going to focus on it, and neither should you. So if somebody took your idea and you think that you don't have anything else, and that was the one thing, or so many people in the entertainment industry, you get into a bad contract. And in that contract, you don't get the money you're supposed to have. You don't get whatever it is. And then you get depressed and you start using drugs and so on and so forth. You start bad talking to people. Let me help you understand something. You need to go and tap into that space where you got that first idea. And I promise you, when you tap into that space, God is going to meet you there. And you might find something that you can enhance or that is altogether different. So don't worry about that. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, you know what? I want to create something, but my background is too bad. I have a record. I lied. I stole. I did something. I went to jail. I got locked up. I was in rehab. I'm not worthy. I did so many things. Let me help you understand this, if you don't understand anything else. Jesus was born in what? Not a penthouse, not a mansion, not a manger. The person you looking at right now, let me tell you, there was the only silver spoon was the 2 or 3 silver spoons in the kitchen in the projects. And the kitchen was so small, the sink was right here, the washing machine was right here, the stove was right here, and the roaches were over there. Yes, they were. Okay. Peter in the Bible, let me tell you, I know Paul in the Bible, that's what I'm talking about. Paul in the Bible, he was on the road to Damascus, on his way to cause some more trouble, on his way to probably kill, steal, and destroy, or whatever the case may be, and he got struck down. Last time I checked, God did not use people unless they had a record. Now, I'm going to just take a quick little sip of my mocktail and give you a minute to process that. It has sugar on the rim, because that's what I like. I like sweet stuff, okay? God didn't even use people unless they had a record. So you think your record is going to stop you from doing what you have to do to teach somebody, to heal somebody? If you want to learn how not to be a crackhead, who you going to listen to? A crackhead or somebody who never smoked crack? You need to listen to the people who went through that. If you want to learn how not to live check to Monday, who you going to listen to? Somebody who never made a money mistake, or me who made them all, right? You have some things in your past that you went through so somebody else could learn from your mistake, because we don't need to pay tuition for your mistake. Yeah, tuition is what you pay when you make a mistake and you got to pay for it. I don't need to pay tuition for that. You need to say right now, you need to write a list of everything in your little book, because I got my journal right here. You need to write a list of everything that you are not going to pay tuition for. I'm not going to pay tuition for a bad relationship. I'm not going to pay tuition for money mistakes. I'm not going to pay tuition for ego. I'm not going to pay tuition for that. Here's the deal. You can help somebody else avoid the tuition payment. So don't think that you have nothing because you made some mistakes. Your mistakes are the message for the mission that you are called to fulfill. Your mistakes are the message for the mission that you are called to fulfill. All right? People used to laugh at me because I have some colleagues or ex-colleagues, whatever you want to call them, right now. People who said, Lynn Richardson wrote a book. She's on this. She's on that. Psh, oh, please. She's a fraud. You know what? She didn't pay this. She didn't do that. Her credit is jacked up. This, that, and the other. They were telling the truth. But what they did not know, what they did not understand, is that all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. All things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Let me say it one more time. All things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So I can use my depression. I can use my recession. I can use my bankruptcy. I can use my bad relationship. I can use my mistakes. I can use my background. I can use my past to learn the lesson that I needed to learn in this space at this time, not only to help myself, but to help somebody else. So the next time you sit around and you feel sorry for yourself and you know that you want to do something and you don't like the job that you're in, you don't like the family or sometimes some of us don't like the family that we're in, okay, right? All right. You don't like the career that you're in, you don't like the job that you're in, and you think you have nothing. Everything was nothing before it became something. So if you have nothing, what I'm telling you right now is you have everything. You have it all, right? Now, you want to know how to go to the next level and get it all straight. Some of you ask, what am I? I'm not a life coach. I'm not a financial coach. I'm not a spiritual coach. Now, I am all those things. I'm a minister, preacher, gangster, teacher. But what I do is I use what I have to help others achieve personal, professional, and spiritual harmony. It's harmony. It's not about balance, because you might not be able to go here and there and build. And you might have to say to your family, listen, I'm going to create for the next 6 months. So I need you all to do the chores. I need you all to handle this and that and the other. And so when I come out of this space, then we will have something. It's your time to create. Go to asklynn.org and tell me, what are you thinking? What do you want? What do you have? And if you say nothing, I'm going to tell you, you have everything. I can't wait to talk to you.